Hey, how you doing? So my name is James, and today what we're going to do is we're going to try to persuade you to buy an SUV instead of a car or a normal sedan. So there's are some exciting new opportunities when we are looking at buying a new car. Specifically in today's day and age, the improvements are with SUVs, pertaining to their gas mileage, their size, and the passenger capacity, as well as the storage size goes. Um, so our main point that we're going to try to get across during this speech is that SUVs today are more reliable and larger in size and more economic when you compare them to four-door sedans or two-door coupes. Um, so first and foremost, SUVs are bigger. They stand for sport utility vehicles. They have more trunk room. They have more leg room in the back seat for passengers. They typically have the same passenger capacity as a normal sedan does, unless you go with an SUV that has like a third row of seats in the back. But then that gets into downgrading your trunk size and everything like that. One of the main things is that SUVs are more fuel economic today. Um, you know, there are definitely, you know, stipulations that have kind of plagued SUVs in the past, where, especially during the Hummer days, SUVs were kind of seen as gas guzzlers. Even the federal government had programs to assist people to get out of SUVs and get into more economical sedans. Um, but what makes them better today is as we stated, they're larger in size. Um, some of them contain more passenger capacity. Sometimes even the SUVs can be more fuel economic than sedans can. So all in all, you're getting more bang for your buck. You're spending a little bit more money, but you're getting a lot more. Um, the main reason that someone should buy an SUV versus sedan, even if you don't have a large family, maybe you only have one child, but it does offer more room. The trunk size, definitely you can fit, strollers in there. You can fit everything that you need for the kid. And even when you're on trips, say you go to the beach, you can actually change your child, change the diaper in the back of an SUV in the trunk. There's room for it. Whereas a sedan, there probably isn't. So, in order to make this speech credible, I was a sales consultant for Ford for 2 years, and I garnished a lot of experience from that, selling everything from pickup trucks to SUVs to Mustangs, to sports coupes. So, with your current vehicle, we got to find out what you don't like, and many people will say the size. It's too small, it's too cramped, it doesn't have enough room for all my stuff. So in short, that kind of should mean that your vehicle really does need to go. In a new vehicle, you should, even at the base model, you should look for some of the um, you know main amenities that vehicles nowadays have. Sirius satellite radio, um, Bluetooth, wireless calling, steering wheel controls, cruise control. Those are kind of some of the main things that car manufacturers are putting into base model vehicles now. And then definitely, depending on the weather conditions where you live, here in Massachusetts, you definitely want to try to get something that's all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. That's definitely going to help out a lot in the snow. And then when you're at the dealership, you should ask those things. You should say, what does the base model include? What am I going to get if I get a base model or if I step up to the next trim level? So there's two kind of main classifications of SUVs. There's your smaller SUV, which is more like a Ford Escape, a Chevy Equinox, something like that. And then there's the larger SUVs like a Ford Expedition or a Chevy Tahoe, or even like a Suburban or a GMC Yukon. Your larger SUVs are going to be built more on like a truck frame. Most manufacturers actually use the same frames for large SUVs that they use for pickup trucks. You're also going to get a larger engine with that larger frame, which means you're going to be spending more money on gas. So your smaller SUVs, they're built on more of like a unibody frame. So the frame, is not kind of built in pieces or separate. The whole frame is one with the body, so it's a unibody. They're the ones that you'll usually see the more fuel economic 4-cylinder engine, and that might be something that's right for you. If you're not going to be towing anything, like you have a boat or jet skis, then the smaller SUV might be something that you want to look into. And an SUV is definitely going to meet your needs better than a sedan would. In any scenario, even if you drive a lot for work, or if you go to a lot of places, or even just getting around town, it's a lot easier to put groceries in the back of an SUV than it is in a sedan. SUVs definitely have a lot more size, larger storage capacity, and as we said before, more passenger room. So, in conclusion, I think that smaller SUVs are definitely the way of the future. I mean, look at even premium car manufacturers like BMW and Audi. They're putting larger, more horsepower engines into SUVs because more people are buying those. A company like Infiniti that has a flagship sedan like a Q50 is actually selling less of those than they are of their SUVs. I know out where I live, most people have SUVs, even if they maybe only have one kid. They still kind of like SUVs more than sedans. So I hope you enjoyed the speech, and until next time, I'll see you later.